بكم في برنامج ليش هيب هوب. البرنامج الوحيد في المملكة العربية السعودية يتكلم عن أكيد ثقافة وحضارة الهيب هوب. Tonight we have a very special guest in the building, ladies and gentlemen. We have Sarah Al Shaybani and Mohammed Baylouni, aka of course. These two guys are definitely two of my favorite local artists here, of course, in Dubai. I'm very happy to have them both. So, assalamu alaikum, guys. Sarah, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you for having us.
I'm good. Thank you for having us.
Mohammed Baylouni, how are you, man?
I'm great, man.
So, for the people, of course, Sarah Shébani, you're a singer-songwriter, and Mohammed is a producer, great producer, and you guys teamed up for a project, an EP called Alter Ego. Before we start getting into Alter Ego and your track Ocean Fire, which please, ladies and gentlemen, if you go on YouTube and watch the amazing video and you get a sense of what I'm talking about. Before we talk a little about that, I want to talk about your beginning. So I'll start with Sarah. Sarah, in the beginning, so you're this indie slash alternative. Before even that, how did you discover yourself to be a singer? Like how did it happen?
Okay, so yeah, that's a long time. I mean, I'm 25 now, and when I started realizing that I'm into music was back when I was 14.
Wow.
And I was just inspired by a lot of musicians. I looked up to my sister as well.
Shout out to your sister.
Yeah, big time. Shout out to Iman.
Shout out to
if you're listening.
Yeah.
So I just took it as a hobby, right? I mean, I was in high school and university, and there were lots of talent shows, and I tried it out, and I realized that the more you put yourself out there, the most important thing is the feedback you get, and you feed off of that feedback. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sure you got good feedback, alhamdulillah.
And that was when I realized that I wanted to pick up the guitar and learn a few chords, and it just kept on going step by step from there on.
Amazing. Shift back to you, Baylouni. With you, so as a production, when it comes to producing, because for me, I like to highlight, and I'm really thankful that you both came here today.
Thank you.
Like I said, a lot of focus is always on the singer or the rapper, and the producer not always, but sometimes gets a little bit left behind. And I like the duo that you guys like do. The Sarah always shouts you out, you always shout us out, and that is amazing. That's how the spirit should be. So for you, was there a special moment that made you feel like you want to become a producer, or how did it start for you?
Well, I started doing production like for my own band, or the bands that I was in. Growing up in the UAE. So it started off just being like a cost-effective way of trying to make music, but then obviously as you start doing it more and more, you obviously get a lot better. And then I think it was the last album I did with my band. One of my bandmates said to me, he's like, "Man, I actually think that we don't need to send it out. You could do it yourself." And I thought about it. I tried it out for like a month or so, and I thought, I'll start producing. And I'd done it before with other small bands, but I think that was the moment when I started like doing it legit for my own work, and then it just took off.
The work, amazing. Sarah, first, I think I remember the first time I heard you was maybe a couple of years back or so, and ala tool, it took like it just the vibe, and I'm sure you understand what I'm talking
100%.
about. It just takes it takes it. I said this before. It doesn't take so much time to recognize talent. Now, as a singer songwriter, what inspires you to actually write? What are the things that feed you?
Yeah. I mean, the way I'm gonna have to split this into two, because the way I used to write songs around 7 months ago, before I even started Alter Ego, is very different from now.
That's why it's Alter Ego.
Yeah, that's why it's Alter Ego. Like everything I went about it so differently, and I had a difficult time writing my originals before Alter Ego. I feel like I wasn't completely comfortable with being honest, and that's why Alter Ego came along. And
I mean, amazing. I was blessed to be like I mean, it's really amazing, really. But okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So Mohammed Bayruni, who's a producer, he saw you perform your indie alternative maybe covers.
Yeah.
What did he tell you that made that shift?
Yeah, that's my favorite story.
Yeah. What was it that because listen, he had a point. Like, big up to you. And do you think if he hadn't told you that you would be continuing in this indie alternative kind of thing, and if you haven't told me,
it would have been a completely different situation.
Okay.
Completely.
Okay.
I remember he called me up one day and he was like, "Listen, this is what you should be doing. You should be putting out singles. You should be putting out an EP, an album, whatever it is." But I think, I mean, I've known him for quite some time now, and he's seen me perform around Dubai and Abu Dhabi, open mic nights, gigs, and I used to do this solo, like, acoustic indie feel. Yeah. It was just an acoustic set every time. It was very exciting when I first started, but then I think he noticed it way before I did, that I reached a dull dead end, kind of.
A dead end.
I wasn't connecting to what I was doing the way I used to when I first started.
Okay.
I needed an upgrade, but I just didn't know how to do that.
Wow.
He noticed that way before I did.
Yeah.
And he approached me and he said, "Listen, we need to start working together.
Yeah.
I have a few ideas."
Yeah.
And
But that's exactly what he told you. And that's what he told you. And
honestly, it was very straight up.
Yeah, that's the nice version of what I told you.
Yeah, it was very straight up, honestly.
That's the nice version.
A slap across my face. But it was a good one. I needed that.
Yeah.
I'm very happy about it.
It's not broadcast worthy. What I actually
of course.
Yeah.
But let's say he hadn't told you that, you'd still be in the same lane, like you'd still be doing your thing. Yes or no?
Yes.
Wow.
But I had plans of leaving Dubai, and I wanted, I'm going to go to London and study there. Yeah. That's where I was hoping to discover myself as an artist.
Ah, wow.
But I was lucky enough to have that before.
I think now what you have is somehow of maybe cushion as well. I think you have a cushion here.
Absolutely.
So, what you mean cushion? Like, is it for the uni?
No.
I was going to say.
What I'm trying to mean is that when she goes now to London, she has it already experienced.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So like she has this alter ego. She already did that.
Yeah, I think, it's amazing. He actually told me, he was like, it's going to be very tough there. You need to know that you need to have some experience. You need to know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
A lot of the students who are going to be there maybe have more experience than you do, and it's such a blessing for me. I learned so much from him, but we'll come to that.
Amazing, yeah, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us Sarah Shaybani and of course Mohammed Bayruni. You guys are about to, of course, to release this full EP. You've already released one track from this EP, which is Ocean on Fire. I fell in love with it. The video is amazing. The track is amazing. Bayruni, this EP was produced 100% for Sarah, for this project.
Yeah. It was after that conversation that she was talking about, we sat down, and I always felt it was important that, because I knew she was going to London, right, for university, I always felt it was important for her to not just have new and improved music, but also understand why and how. So for me, it was trying to get her to learn as much as possible from the whole process as well. So everything that we did, whether it was writing the music or writing the lyrics or writing the vocals, whatever it was, I emphasized that she would be there for the entire thing, because that's essentially what she's going to study. So everything was done from scratch. All the music was done, like, tailored to what she was trying to say, what she was trying to do. Sometimes takes more time, but you get a much better result that way.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, I'm proud of you guys. Well, really,
thank you so much.
I'm very proud because, again, and I've only heard like maybe 2 or 3 songs. I was lucky to hear 2 or 3 songs.
Yeah.
But, it's like you guys have something really powerful here, and
thank you.
I want to get into like the exact production of the EP, what the moment went. But we're gonna go for a short break. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Hit us up on Twitter at @LaishHipHop_LaishHipHop. Shout out to FreekTV for doing this video, and inshallah it's gonna be on YouTube inshallah tomorrow. So we're gonna go for a short break and we'll be right back. أعزائي المستمعين حنطلع لفاصل صغير ونرجع نكمل معاكم لقائنا مع سارة ومحمد بيلوني. خليكم معنا. The EP is called Alter Ego. Let's talk about why Alter Ego and who came up with the name. Yalla, Kila, quick.
Okay, who came up with the name? I'm going to be very honest here.
Come close to the mic.
We were actually having dinner at Cheesecake Factory.
Okay.
Yeah.
No advertising.
No advertising.
I forgot where it was, yeah.
No product placement here. And I was just discussing how the transition from, the acoustic vibe went to this R&B. It just took a different approach, right? And I was like, I just feel like it's an alter ego. Muhammad looks at me and he goes like, That's the EP name. Done.
Wow.
Signed, sealed, delivered. Yeah.
Wow.
I was just like, the vocab stands out.
Yeah.
It's like,
but what made you say alter ego again? Because you had that. It was because it's simple as you were this indie, and then now you're in this field.
No, I think it was what I was writing about and addressing in this EP. I would have never in a million years imagined to speak about the topics that are going to be in this EP. Wow. I was afraid of what to say back when I was doing my acoustic stuff, and now I became a little more honest. Yeah. So that's why I called it my alter ego.
People love you more when you're honest. Take that from my experience.
Yeah.
The video of Ocean on Fire is incredible.
Thank you.
And you did it, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing.
I wasn't supposed to.
I know.
Yeah.
But that's the story. Yeah. Tell us about that story, like how, like this Ocean on Fire video, because I followed you a little bit on Snapchat. You made a day, like we're doing this, we're doing that, and then, it was like really incredible. The video is incredible. It was really nice, man.
Yeah, so Sarah had the video planned out with a couple of other guys that she knew did really, really great video work. And that was the day I was Snapchatting was the shoot. I wasn't actually even in Dubai when she told me she'd found like the team and the locations and all that stuff.
Okay.
So the day that we were Snapchatting was the day we were doing that version of the video.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking for Sarah on her behalf, but I think at the time we got some edits back. It wasn't the video was bad. I just think the target that she was going for was different to the target they were going for, and it wasn't really like it's a bad video or it's a good video. But I think she was quite particular about how she wanted to be represented.
Different vision.
Yeah. So to be honest, we were freaking out for sure because it was like 20 something hours before we said it was going to be out. So that same night, I said to her, I was like, we don't have time to sulk. Like, we'll just
wait. That same night?
It was the same night.
Pretty much.
It's the same night. You guys finished like at what?
The same night. I said to her, like, we got to go and we got to find locations, like, and just do as much as we can. And then I think it was like 18, 20 hours later, official upload or whatever it was. So it was a hectic couple of days, but like I'm happy with the way it turned out, of course. But like it was, I don't think we had the time to actually absorb how much we'd done until like the whole, time of finding location stuff was over, so it was hectic.
I think I'm very happy about it because no other two people are close to any song in Alter Ego more than Rayan and Muhammad and I are. Yeah. So we know exactly what we want. We know exactly how it's supposed to look like. So.
Yo, guys, I don't want to put you on pressure, but here you're dropping jewels here on my listeners. I'll tell you why. First of all, you, Sarah, okay? You're saying something very important. You're saying that Alter Ego made you be honest, which is a very good lesson for any singer-songwriter, right? So be honest.
Definitely.
This is a good lesson. Don't copy paste. Don't try to be something you're not. You had to learn it through a different ways. You had the blessings of Bailuni coming in and many other things, but now you're there. Khalas. Second lesson is what you just said right now. Is you want to do something, do with the people that know the product the best.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this why? Because especially in the Arab world, we see a lot of, especially let's say in work in Saudi Arabia, in the UAE, we see a lot of people when they want to do something, they get you they get the talent from outside. And we have talent inside.
100%.
Why should I go to the US and bring in talent when the talent over here knows?
100%.
You know, so you guys,
100%.
this is amazing because it's you two that worked on it.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
That, I mean, it's the example I use all the time. But a lot of people, when you tell them in Dubai, Drake is coming to play Dubai, everyone goes crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe Drake is coming to Dubai. The minute, well, the flip side of that, you tell Drake, you get to play Dubai, he freaks out. So there's like this disconnect between the way we're perceived from the outside and the way we perceive our own talent within our own like region, you know what I mean? So what you're saying is 100% true.
Absolutely.
Like,
being a local artist here in Dubai, you know, how difficult is for you, or what's the challenges, Sarah, here for you? Like, you know, you've been at it for a couple of years, let's say here.
Yeah.
Well, what's the challenges like, you know?
I don't think it's as challenging as I would say. I think for me it's giving up everything that gives you a stable lifestyle and going for something that you're just basically throwing yourself in the water and you're like, okay, let's swim and see where this is going to take me. There's no guarantee. And I think personally, that was the most, it was scary for me.
Yeah.
To just imagine that maybe.
Is that something that you hear a lot about when you interview other people?
Yeah,
do they tell you the same thing?
I mean, not really, no. I mean, it's more like, it varies, but that is an authentic answer again.
Yeah, but that's like, because her answer is like global.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like everywhere in the world, an artist will say, I'm not sure if I'm going to make it, or I don't know, like,
that
stability.
way. Yeah,
you get what I mean?
But again, what I find honest about it is the fact that you have to do a risk in life, and because you're talented, your talent, I think, will lift you up.
Absolutely.
And that's what happened. You throw yourself out there to the world.
You're right, but I can't deny that I got a lot of opportunities here. One of them being meeting Muhammad and creating Alter Ego. So I'm thinking of it that way because I started performing here. I opened my YouTube channel here. I did the EP here. So I feel like you need to work hard no matter where you are. Even if it's
that's so true.
even if it's it's not like LA, Toronto. It's still something that you need to work hard on. Maybe it'll take you some, you know.
No, 100%, I agree. But again, being in the Arab world, man, like you feel that there isn't much focus or support, especially towards our females, you know, sisters. And I focus a lot on my show to showcase that there are a lot of female talent.
And you've been a big advocate of that. I know that because I've heard you before saying that like there's totally like there's a what you call a demographic of artists missing.
Yeah, and I always say a society or a scene without a female like presence in it is not a scene.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, shout out to, you know, my sisters in Saudi Arabia. We have like a couple of singers I'd love to, you know, meet, you know, have you guys, you know, meet up. But Rooney, and for me, what astonished me like really a lot is that this EP looks like, it's fresh. It looks, it's well produced, well engineered, well mastered. How important is that for how important is that for an EP to be well mastered, well engineered, well? Because the average listener might not really make a difference.
I think that's an answer that will vary from region to region. For me, I feel like this is me. No, like it's me being completely transparent, right?
Good.
But like us in the Middle East, naturally as a city, Dubai doesn't look within itself for resources, right? Naturally, it's tourism, it's export, import, whatever, all that stuff. So naturally, the music as an industry will follow the same trend. So if you're doing something here that isn't at worldwide level, if it's not at the level people can get outside, then they will go outside. So I felt it was really important that whether it's Sarah stuff or it's anybody else's stuff, that it's global standard, so that it will change that ideal within the country that you have to go outside to find something great. Wow. You know what I mean? But that's part of the...
Yeah. I don't have the clapping button here, but I would do it. Sarah, what are like some of the funny moments that went like during this EP? Like, if you can tell us some of the things that could be said. You know, What did this EP teach you into? As you know, as a producer and a singer-songwriter, what did Alter Ego teach you guys?
Okay, so funny moments or what it?
Yeah, funny moments. Funny moments. Yeah.
I think I got a lot of scolding from Muhammad because I'm not used to being in a studio. I've never recorded before.
Yeah.
So I had to be there every day, getting used to it, writing, going into the booth, recording. So there are times where he has an idea and I don't entirely agree with it.
Wow.
But
how?
It turns eventually it turns out to be terrific. But at that moment, I sort of resist and I go like, yeah, no, I'm not doing this. So he goes like, you have to do this. I'm like, I'm not doing this. He's like, just try it. So there's that, like, we end up laughing about it, of course. Yeah. But that's the funniest moment for me because I can be a little stubborn sometimes.
Yeah.
What I learned, so much. I don't even know where to start. It changed how I look at music, how I write, how I want to approach it, how I am as an artist. It changed 180 degrees.
Wow.
For sure, 100%.
Man, Beilouni, what about you?
I'd say the funny moments are the same, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's actually, the funny story is that there's actually one of those moments she's talking about. I don't think I'll say which song because I don't want it to be tarnished for that reason.
Yes.
But there is a song on the record that has a moment where I forced her into singing a part. And she went home that day.
Okay.
And she was like about to give up on everything. She's like, it's never going to work. I don't know why this is so difficult.
Wow.
And then she came back 2 months later when we're finishing the final masters of the record. And she's like, that part sounds great. I'm like, that was the night that you said you hated basically your music life. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
The things that I've learned, I don't know. I think, to be honest, and this is not just because for the sake of complimenting, because I even get these moments sometimes listening back to the record, just editing it or whatever. But I don't think I think I actually underestimated how good she was at singing. But that's not just for a compliment, because I think whatever belief I had in her when she started doing it, I actually didn't realize that her voice would get so much better with a different genre, to the point where her vocal expression, her delivery completely changed. You physically saw this transformation, she came out of this cocoon of who she was, and then even singing in the booth, and you're going, wow, she sounds different. So that for me was the big thing.
That makes me so happy to hear this, because I think
Thank
a lot
you,
of
Muhammad.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
She doesn't get compliments from you very often. That's why.
Honestly, I'm just sitting here thinking,
I left it for radio.
I don't know. This is recorded, thank God, because I need to put this in history.
Delete this. Boom. Delete this. It's gonna be
wallah, it makes me happy. I'll tell you why. Because before we go to a break, it makes me happy because all the big singers in the world, they always say that. They always say that, music and the singing should elevate you. And I think she did that in that small EP that you're talking about.
For sure.
That's her first EP.
For sure.
And imagine that's her first EP. What happens on the second, third, fourth, inshallah? It's a matter of, that experience, man. And big up to you.
Thank you.
Sarah Shaybani. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Sarah Shaybani and Muhammad Beilouni here with us live on Laish Hip Hop. Hit us up on Twitter, like I said, on hashtag Laish Hip Hop. Maybe we'll do a little bit of either a Twitter or a Facebook Live to get some of your questions. We're gonna go for a short break and we'll be right back. هنطلع الفاصل صغير ونرجع نكمل. Sarah and Muhammad Beilouni, you guys are superstars, man. Big up to you.